Shazam! What's up, you guys? Saj the Boss here, and today I just got done watching the brand new Black Adam movie, which is a brand new DC film that just dropped last Friday, and I just gotta say, this movie was pretty solid. DC had done something special. Well, I haven't seen a DC movie since Robert Pattinson's The Batman, which happens to be back in March of this year. So it's been a while since DC has released a film. So after this long hiatus, DC is back in action with the brand new Black Adam starring The Rock. So before we go into this review, this is a non-spoiler review of Black Adam, and I'm gonna give you guys my whole thoughts and opinions without any spoilers. So sit back, relax, and just have amazing, sit back and enjoy this amazing review of Shazam, aka Black Adam. Okay guys, going into this movie, I was sort of hyped for this film ever since it was announced at DC Fandom, that announced that The Rock's gonna be in this movie. I thought it'd be in the works for a while. No, it came out 2022, because it was 2020 when this thing was announced, and 2022, we're back, and we got the film just right around in October. So it's been a little bit of a while of a wait to see Black Adam, but I thought the wait was worth it. I thought getting ready to see The Rock in his first superhero, as his first superhero or anti-hero or villain, whatever you want to call him, was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was a nice, spectacular version to see of him. It's not the greatest Black Adam portrayal because there's other better versions in the comics, in my opinion. But with that all being said, let's go on talking about the plot of Black Adam. Okay guys, without giving any spoilers to the plot of this film, the plot is very simple. It follows the rebirth or the reawakening of Black Adam. He's there and he's about he's trying to reconnect to his past world of this. I forget what this country's called. City of Kaduct. I think it's called Kaduct. I could be wrong with pronunciation, but leave in the comments if I'm wrong. But it takes place in Kaduct, and it follows his rebirth, the reorigin of his reconnection of the whole city of Kaduct and where he left off hundreds of years ago. This movie also follows along the Justice Society, which is amazing to see. Finally, some familiar faces we get to see in this movie. I know you've probably seen them in the trailer. We have Dr. Fate, Whirlwind, and we have Atom Smasher. So all those guys are back in this movie, which is really cool to see the Justice Society. So the Justice Society, without giving any spoilers, they're there on this top secret mission, which I can't give any details about that, but they're on a mission, and they happen to reconnect with Black Adam. So that's what the whole plot is. So something will happen where these guys will connect and face paths, and you gotta wait to see Black Adam. So wait to see that. Okay guys, so after all that, let's talk about the characters of this movie. Starting off with the main star or anti-hero or villain, we have our very own Black Adam, played by Dwayne Johnson, a wonderful actor, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The Rock, you can smell him cooking in this movie. He is Black Adam. So for me personally, Dwayne Johnson's portrayal of Black Adam was really mediocre. It's probably one of his solid works recently of this year. Probably one of my favorite works of his this year, probably. I thought he was really bad, but for me personally, as a superhero, like big superhero nerd and fan, I thought he was okay. It was like, he had his moments. He has the moments to shine. He's like, oh, this guy's a really good role model, really good like leader and superhero type of guy. I'm like, and there's other times I'm like, yeah, it's pretty watered down with some of his jokes. This is him in a typical action movie. You get to see that, but for me personally, it does not do The Rock. There are movies where I see The Rock, I'm like, yep, that's a perfect role for Dwayne Johnson. This one, not a really good fit for himself. I thought it was a good casting choice because he's a great, immaculate guy. He's like a big bodybuilder and a wrestler, but it doesn't really portray like the more sinister side of Black Adam. He has that little spark of that, but it does not do it justice. It just has that doesn't have like that villainous tone. He has more of like the I'm a hero. I'm like almost a bad boy hero. Kick butt. He has that mindset, but not that without giving anything away. Another character we want to talk about, the Atom Smasher. He was alright. He's almost like one of the comedic reliefs. He doesn't really do much. There's nothing too much to say about him without any giving away. He's just an interesting guy. He's just a really interesting character. I don't know too much about himself in the comics, but he was interesting. He was interesting though. Next up, we have Whirlwind. Whirlwind was portrayed with a beautiful actress. She did a pretty good job portraying her. I just don't know too much about Whirlwind as a character. All I know, she can pretty much. So Atom Smasher is almost like Ant-Man. So it's like a watered down Ant-Man. Whirlwind is almost like Storm, but she has like power to control the wind and like how she can like control wind and control like the emphasis and power of wind speeds and weather in general. It's really interesting. I don't know too much about her in the comics, so I can't really say my opinion going into her. I thought, cool superpower. Her CGI was kind of cool though. I love the colors. It really reminds me a lot of, if you know what I'm talking about, if you know, it reminds me of the Festival of Holi, but it also kind of reminds me of something else. I can't really remember it, wrap it around my head, but it has to do with something symbolic, like the coloring, you know? It looks like if you threw a bunch of spray paint and you kind of like spray painted like the air, it kind of looked like that. Next up, a character I can't believe he's finally here in the DCU. We have one and only Dr. Fate. Holy cow, the guy who played him, I gotta look him up. Who played Princeton Brosnan, played Dr. Fate. He has a really good portrayal of Dr. Fate. It had everything I really liked about him. I got a lot of like vibes from when I first watched Stargirl. And like I got really excited because I love Dr. Fate. I thought he was a really cool character, and they did him justice. They got him really well done. It's almost like a Doctor Strange type of character where he has like teleport, almost like has telekinesis, like Professor X. But he was immaculate. He just was really cool. It kind of reminds me of Mysterio a little bit from the MCU, but he just had it all. He just had it all for me. He had a charm. He felt like one of the most recognizable characters, and he just felt like a character you kind of connected to the most throughout the film, and he just felt like a character that he could just like really just pop out the screen and just know who he is. He's definitely eye candy. He's like eye candy. You can't miss him. He's just a lot of fun. He's just a lot of fun. He's just a really bad butt guy. He's just super smart and intelligent. I can't give too much away about him, but he was immaculate. Next up, one of my favorite Justice League members. This is Hawkman. Hawkman is in this film. For me personally, this is not the greatest portrayal of Hawkman. I like his Justice League counterpart though. He had like this really nice tone to the character, but I feel like some of his lines and stuff are kind of like rushed, like kind of his like way he thinks. It's kind of rushed, and his whole like his whole setup thing was kind of rushed. I felt like he was like the guy to me personally, I felt like the guy that knows things, how to operate a team. He felt like that. I felt like one of those guys from Doom Patrol, but it's not Doom Patrol. I feel like Cyborg and Doom Patrol is not really like that. Well, not Cyborg from Doom Patrol, you know, Dick Grayson from Titans. It kind of felt like that, but not that. So he knows how to operate things, but he's not like the greatest responsible role model for a team. He has his anti-hero moments, but I think end of the day he's a hero that's almost really untrustworthy at times, almost like Bucky Barnes or Falcon. Falcon's are really trustworthy, but like it's almost like the relationship between Falcon and Bucky's of like their love child. It's kind of like that. Whole ordeal. It's almost like Bucky Barnes. It's almost like a Bucky Barnes, Sam Wilson type of character. Because Sam Wilson's like Falcon. So if you like had the mindset of Bucky Barnes, if Bucky becomes Falcon, it's like that. So it's kind of the way he was portrayed, like his powers and things were really immaculate. It was really cool to see him on the big screen. It felt like a really good way to introduce us to Hawkman. So I can't wait to see what's next for Hawkman after the film. I can't give too much away, but he's just a cool character. So I want to know what's next for that character particularly, because I like going into this film, seeing the trailer, and though I'm wondering when he's going to. I can't really say it, but I really want to know what's next for mostly all the characters. I kind of want to know what's next for each and every single one of them. That's how I'm just seeing this movie without giving any spoilers. Okay, so those are all the characters in a nutshell, but we're going to talk about things I liked. number one things I just liked the tone and pacing of this movie. For once, a DC movie has actually really good pacing without making it rush. I thought the runtime was perfect for everything. It had a really nice organic story that met up towards the end with 3 different acts like usual. It actually feels like a standard DC movie with like some of the acts kind of being really predictable, like the 3rd act, big finale, then like followed by a good middle act and a solid start. So start to finish, I thought it was solid. There's nothing I really want to change about it, but I thought what they gave us was perfect. And the post-credit scene was awesome. It was awesome. I can't give away the post-credit scene, but that's like my highlight of the movie. Favorite part of the film is that and the whole origin of Black Adam. So another thing I really liked is The Rock's portrayal. I like Black Adam. I thought Black Adam was a really solid character. I just love all the characters. All the characters were fun. They were colorful. They were really unique, really organic. I thought they just had highlights to this film. So the characters overall had highlights for me. Another thing I really appreciated about this film was the lighting and cinematography. The cinematography was really good. I can't say enough about how good the cinematography felt. I felt like you're in an industrial city. I felt like it just really looks like you're part of an industrial city where you can see like all the buildings and landscaping and the architecture. It just really pops. It just really pops in my opinion. So I thought like lighting and stuff like that just really pops. One last thing before going to gripes. Another thing I liked is the CGI. Even though it was like a mix of a gripe and a thing, it was like from the start to finish, start of the film and the middle of the film, CGI looked really good, minus the ending of the CGI. Yeah, the CGI. So anything else? So gripes going into it, CGI, some of the things The Rock did were kind of Rock standard things, you know, like it's kind of solid. It's kind of like a solid Dwayne Johnson thing you see in the movies, you know, where he's over the top, which he always is with the character, which I like, but I really want him toned down, because John Cena does it, but I really want The Rock to do the same thing. He does it, but it just takes him a moment. So it took me a moment to get used to The Rock as a superhero. So I don't know if that's really a gripe, but something I had to mention. It's like there's some things with The Rock I just thought they didn't really do him right. Another gripe is I just really wanted more of the Justice Society. I kind of wanted their own spin-off show. I just really want to know what's next for those characters, particularly if they're going to join the Justice League. I'm not really sure what their portrayal is and how they kind of are there. So I know a little bit about them because of Stargirl, but I don't know a whole lot on how they're connected in the DC universe. Another gripe I have about it is, my other gripe is I thought another gripe I really had about it is I wish I kind of cut back a little bit on one certain character, but I agree what they did with them, but I was kind of confused on how he kind of connects to the whole thing, so I kind of wish they kind of cut back on a certain character, which I can't give away because of spoilers, but there's a certain character, you see him in the movie, if you see it, that needs to be cut back. Okay, so with all that being said, how do I recommend Black Adam? Well, I recommend Black Adam to all superhero fans who love superheroes and comics and all sorts of stuff in that genre. For me personally, if you're a casual DC fan like me, I recommend you guys probably watching this on HBO Max. But if you're a hardcore DC fan, you see all of them in theaters, go, by all means, go see this in theaters. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it to see in theaters just because I just don't think this is really a worthy character to watch in theaters. I waited a long time to see Shazam, and I wish I could have saw that in theaters just because of how funny it was. This one was mediocre. If you wanted to see it in theaters, you can. You'd be entertained for a while, but it doesn't really keep you on your toes like movies such as Wonder Woman or Aquaman. It's not that good of a quality of a film to watch. I think it's a movie you have fun with the whole family. You have fun just thinking about Black Adam, how he's connected to the DCU. It doesn't really, for me personally, push anything forward, in my opinion, to go rush and go see it in theaters, unless you just really want to go see the movie and you've been wanting to see DC for a while. Another thing about this film is it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody because it's a whole new world of obscure characters that no one really knows too much about, and some of the characters are like, I might have to watch Black Adam to watch Shazam. You kind of watch them. You could watch them back and forth, but I say you watch Shazam and then Black Adam, or do vice versa. For me, it just does. It's like one of those movies, parallel. It's almost a parallel movie, so it does not really connect to both. For some fans, I don't think they will understand how this will connect to the DCU. So it's another gripe for people, like they get reconnected to this franchise. So, like I said, this movie for me personally is a 6.5. Not recommended to go see in theaters. Wait till it comes out to HBO Max, just because it's a solid movie to watch at home with your whole family. It's not theater worthy. It's nothing too major to go eager to run out to the theater and watch this film. It's okay to wait and watch it at home, just because there's not a lot of like surprising elements like a Marvel movie where you have to go right away to see in theaters. It had theater quality, but I think it's better off on your soundbar and your basement or wherever you watch your films. Yeah. I don't know. I may revisit this movie eventually, but I think it will age pretty well as time progresses. But I think it's one of DC's solid choices, a solid film. It's really solid for DC standards. Out of all the DC movies, it's probably in the middle for me. It's probably one of those in the middle. It's really in the middle for me. So with all that being said, I'm out of here, and hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. And Shazam! And thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe, and see more videos like this in the future. Thank you. Bye.